really interesting cloud formations this evening. Just amazing. Let's zoom in on that one. I see a jet in the middle. Well, we're doing mail call today, everybody. I want to show you this nice oil painting that my late father did when we lived up in Lake Tahoe on the Nevada side. I like the colors on the sky on that one. Well, on mail call this past week, we got a really nice letter from Redondo Beach, California, and I'm going to keep their full names private. It's from Clark and Linda from Redondo Beach. They live just a few blocks, I think, from the beach there on the coast. It's gorgeous down there. But they sent us a really beautiful little card with a butterfly in there. And then they wrote, we've been following you and Doug. They wrote this to Kelly. We've been following you and Doug for quite a while. We enjoy your videos and content. The special picnics you prepare are amazing, especially the cookies. Doug is a very lucky guy. Well, Clark and Linda, I'll have to agree with that. I think we're all lucky to have Kelly on board when she comes on the show. Yeah, he was an oil painter. You can see some of his work. I like the sky on this one. The colors are a little bit expressive, but it still shows kind of the power of the sky. That's oil painting. Here's one representing Nevada. This is where we were this week. Here's Sacramento as a reference. And we live over here in Hawthorne, Nevada. And we went to Mammoth Lakes this week. And right about where my dividers are, there's an airport. People fly from all around to come in there and enjoy the good skiing at Mammoth Lakes. And that's where we went this week. Here's a close-up. The town of Mammoth Lakes is down in this area. We came up here on Lake Mary Road, past the Twin Lakes and the Upper Twin. And we took a shot right here, a photo shot showing the two Twin Lakes looking down across there. We drove up here to the parking lot, here to Horseshoe Lake. And then I had to wheel the canoe all the way to where the water level is, which is right about where this line is. And we went on Horseshoe Lake and went around the lake and looked around, had our lunch, and we came back, loaded up the canoe again in the parking lot, and then we went on a short half-mile hike right up this trail that goes up to McLeod Lake. And that's where we were. This week we're going up to Horseshoe Lake. We're going to break the canoe out. And the water level is so low, it was a long, long way to get down to the water, but I had a two-wheel cart. I didn't know if I was going to make it at first, but it worked out just fine. It wasn't that hard to get down there. It's an interesting lake, off-season right now, and we had a good time down there. But next week, we're going to head out to the Amargosa Valley, and that's it's about northwest of Las Vegas, about 100 miles. It's a little bit south of where we normally go. But we want to have some ideas too about some of our adventures. Now we've gone down there and we've seen ash meadows, the pupfish over at Devil's Hole. We've been to the big dunes. We've been over by the Amargosa Opera House. We've been to Long Street Cabin. And I don't really want to cover anything that a lot of the other big YouTubers have covered. Wonder Hussey is a great entertainer. She's covered some great spots. And there's a lot of other great YouTubers also that are covering that area. But if you have an idea of a place that we should cover, it's a little bit off the beaten path, let us know in the comments, and I'll definitely check it out. Thank you very much for all the support, everybody. Here's another painting that Dad did of the Mono Lake area. to Mammoth Lakes, California, off US 395 South. There's hardly any traffic at all this first week in November. That was a close one this morning, wasn't it, Kelly? Coming over Anchorite Pass, 8 deer came across the road, and luckily I've got really good brakes and I stopped just in time and didn't hit any of them, did I?
Yeah, you got lucky.
Yeah, I thought maybe the canoe was going to come off, and I thought the canoe was going to hit one of them, but luckily the canoe stayed on too. It was our lucky day today.
Yes, it was.
Let's see if the Visitors Information Center is still open. It might be closed for the season. Let's check it out.
Okay.
I have a very nice visitor center nestled amongst the pines. They're open at 8 o'clock in the morning. There's all kinds of books on wildlife in here. It's amazing selection. I think they have a good selection of information here, don't they?
Oh, they have tons of books.
Yeah.
Tons.
A field guide to spiders of California and the Pacific Coast states. Interesting.
Look, they're promoting our state too.
I see it right there. Nevada. Here's the interior of the old Mammoth Saloon. Not much more than a little shack. Got a piano though.
Look, this is some information about this old saloon. A third grade class in 1979 decided they want to save this, so they were instrumental in getting this building preserved. Doug is just curious. He's wanting to check things out a little bit on this old saloon.
This is a resort town. There's a lot of hotel room in this area.
I remember one time when we were up here, we saw a bear, and I stayed up just to stay away from the bear. Doug, he went right after so he could get it on film.
Driving right by Lake Mary. It's on our left. So peaceful. I love looking at the reflection in the water. There's a good view of Crystal Crag. Almost made it up to the top. Remember when I went up that?
Yes, barely, but I do remember you went hiking up there, and that is really high up there.
It got so windy it almost blew me off. Remember there was a big storm that day.
Oh.
Here's the waterfall tumbling into Twin Lakes at Mammoth Lakes, California. Little snow up here on the side of the road. Remember when we rode our bicycles through the woods here, Kelly?
Yes, we did.
That was a good time.
Yes.
There's a bike path adjacent to the road if you look on the left. Really fun. Oh, better slow down. Here's the parking lot already. Well, it's a little ways to the water, but I think I can wheel the canoe down to where the water's at from here.
It's a little bit of a ways for Doug to take this down to the water, but with those little wheels, it'll probably help. Well, he made it to the water, no problem at all.
Is part of the basically 25-mile long Long Valley Caldera and Mono Inyo craters volcanic chain. And it's got underneath the ground here, you see how the trees are dead? It's because after the earthquake in 1989, it opened up the earth and it is releasing carbon dioxide, which is heavy and it sits close to the ground and it kills the tree roots. So there's actually one area up there where it's not even recommended to put a tent up there because it's dangerous to camp.
This is Horseshoe Lake, and you can see that it's the water has receded a little bit, mostly just because of the time of year. It's in the fall, and you know, there's not much water coming into it right now, but there will be in the spring.
Haven't seen any fish yet, Kelly.
No, I wonder if the gas has an effect on the fish. I'm not going to show it on camera just because it's hard to see, but we can see that the bottom of the lake is probably about 15 to 20 feet deep in the center, or at least, you know, a little ways out. One time before, Doug and I rode our bikes around this lake. I believe we hiked and biked it. During that time, the water was up to the tree line. So it's quite a bit further down right now.
They're just preening themselves and warming up in the early morning sunshine.
There is a walking trail that goes around this lake, and if you look closely, there is a bridge over there in the distance that goes across a seasonal creek.
That's just a trickle of a little creek that's coming down right now. Here's the lunch spot that we chose. And we like this rock. And she's already put down a picnic blanket. I think it's a good spot. It's out of the wind and it's sunny, really pretty. This is our beautiful lunch spot along the lake. So what do we have for lunch this week, Kelly?
Today we are having roast beef wraps with some hummus, and I have some cucumbers that I grew in my garden, and there's a little bit of kale from my garden, and I processed 3 pumpkins yesterday, and now we're going to have pumpkin cookies.
You know what that means? One of my favorites later on.
Pumpkin pie?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Kelly.
You're welcome.
There she comes. Are you having a good time?
Yes.
Swing us around, go in the right direction. From Horseshoe Lake, there's this trailhead right from the parking lot. And this McLeod Lake is only a half a mile away. Let's head on up there. You can see where the carbon dioxide has killed back all the trees. See all these dead trees, Kelly?
Yes.
That's from that carbon dioxide escaping from beneath the earth and all that volcanic activity underneath the earth, and it's killing the tree roots and thus killing the trees. So that's why you don't want to go any spot that's really low lying, and you don't want to pitch a tent where it's low lying because the carbon dioxide might get you also. It was just that first little bit of the trail that was a little bit rough. That's definitely improved. And look at all the dead trees. McLeod Lake is catch and release fishing only. These are some big trees.
Stripes on this boulder.
Interesting. They hook into the next one too. Kelly's in the market for a new home.
Yeah, what a fun little camp this would be.
Yeah, that would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Lakefront property.
That's right. Lakefront property is about what I could afford this.
Isn't that about what $400,000 will get you?
Yeah, just about that. It's the deal.
But wait, there's more. There's a whole village.
Yeah.
Look at that one.
Oh, I like the artwork on that.
Yeah, I like how that they took all the different shapes and look how they just put them all together like that. They just fit together. It's almost like a piece of art.
Yeah.
You know, those are, that's the bottom of tree roots. Those look heavy. That took a lot of work to do that. And look, there's another one over here too.
Let's go check it out.
Okay. Kind of like that last one. It's kind of artsy. This one is more functional, I would say. It's kind of like a wiki up.
Oh, it's got some cool stuff. It's got a little more space.
Oh,
there,
yeah.
too. Oh, what a fun little shelter this is.
Yeah.
Look at all these roots just entwined together. How
Mhm.
fun. They probably built this over the years.
Kind of liking this one.
Yeah, this one's bigger.
It's got lots of airflow.
Yeah.
The roof leaks a little bit though.
Yeah, I think it would, but it makes
And
a
you can
great
still
emergency
still
shelter.
see the lake. Look at that, you can see the lake
Yeah,
through
you
it.
got incredible views.
Yeah. Incredible lakefront property. Woohoo!
Douglas has decided he needs to do a little home repair in this place before he leaves. Add to it.
Like that. Let's go back in here. I think that's better. Okay. It's a little bit tight. Ellie, look at these amazing patterns on the bank of the lake.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that, where the water did that. All the colors. That's something else. Look at how clear that water is. And there's a fisherman on the far bank. There are fish in this lake too.
It is dramatically cooler in the snow.
Beautiful McLeod Lake. There's that fisherman on the far bank. He's just to the left of that tree. Let's zoom in on him. He's fishing from the bank. What a nice spot. Look at the mountains above the trees in the background. Gorgeous little lake. Trying not to slip in the snow. Whoa. That's a great view of Mammoth Mountain on the back side. I believe the ski lift is on the other side, on the very top. It's really easy to see where the water is deeper. See that dark gradient? If you look in the water, it's darker. That's where it gets deeper. There's a nice little shelter for an animal right under there. There's the beautiful little lake. It's a lot cooler in this shady side of the lake. And there's more snow over here also. You can see the sun getting ready to go down. It's just like glass. Perfect reflection. This is the sandy corner of the lake. It's got a nice little beach on it. What'd you think of this little lake up here?
I think it's pretty cool. I wouldn't mind doing this one again.
Yeah, I can see why it's popular. It's so close to the parking lot. It's just a half mile. Easy walk.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a hike going up, but it's short, so it's cool.
This corner is a little bit cooler. See the snow. Some rugged cliffs. Well, we just talked to the man that was fishing there, and I said, "Did you catch anything?" And he said, "Yeah, it was pretty good, but you had to work for it." And he said one was about 16 inches, so not too bad for a small lake. You can really see those huts from here, from the other side of the lake. It's a good shot of them. Here's the easy trail going down. It's all downhill from here. So Kelly, what did you think of our excursion with the canoe on Horseshoe Lake? That sure was a long way to cart that canoe down. I sure got my exercise today.
Yeah, but you did a good job. You got it right down there, and I was a little worried too. I thought that's a long way to haul that, but you did fine, no problem there. And then we had a nice little short hike, but it was fun. That lake is beautiful up there.
What did you think about that little lake with those little huts up there?
That's the one I'm talking about. I thought that was very cute.
Yeah, that was
it was just a fun
pleasant
little
surprise,
hike.
wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was. It was a pleasant surprise. I enjoyed the whole day.
Well, we enjoyed having you along with us, everybody. We think it was fun, and we'll see you next time. Looks like there's a fire over near Benton, probably, on the California side. This is near Mono Lake. There's Mono Lake to the left. Let me zoom in on that again. That's Boundary Peak. And there it is. Okay, it just started to take off about maybe an hour or so ago.